Hello. In this lesson, we're going to look at percentage changes. So before we start looking at percentage changes, it's important that we understand what the effect of multiplying up percentages is. So if we have 100% of something, let's say we had the number 90, 100% of it will give us the original number. So it'll give us 90. So it's like timesing by 1. However, if we have a percentage bigger than 100, so if we times 90 by, say, 200%, so 200% is bigger than 100, we're going to increase our number. So 90 is now going to grow up, and we're going to have 180. Similarly, if we times by a number less than 100%, so we had 90 and we times by 50, which is less than 100%, we're going to end up with decreasing our number. So we go from 90 down to 45. So, which of the following four numbers would increase our percentage if we multiplied by it? Okay, so to answer this question, we need to look above and we want to increase our percentage. So increasing our percentage, we want numbers bigger than 100%. So the numbers down here bigger than 100% are this one and this one. 10% is less than 100, so it's not that. And 43.2 is also less than 100. So now we're going to move on to actually changing by a percentage. So changing could mean increase, like we have here, or it could mean decrease. So something is either going to get bigger, increase, or get smaller, decrease. So what we need to do in this case is we have our original number, and we want to find a percentage of the original number. So 25% of our original number here, we would go 25% of 50, and that's going to give us a quarter of 50, which is going to give us 5. So we end up with 12.5 is the amount increase that we're having. So because it's increase, we need to realize increase means plus. So we're going to add our number, this number here, to our first number. So we have $50 plus our increase. So our increase is 25% of $50, which is going to give us $50 plus $12.50. So we end up with $62.50. And our number we can check has increased, it's gotten bigger. So $62.50 is bigger than $50. So now we're going to look at a decrease. Now, decrease is exactly the same process, but this time we're going to take away our number. So we could cheat a bit here because the numbers are the same. We want $50, but this time we're decreasing by 25% of our $50. So we're going to have $50, and we can use this number from here, 12.5. This time we're minusing 12.5 from $50. And so that's going to give us a final answer of $37.50. So now I'd like you to find out what we would get if we increase $20 by 5%. And we're increasing this time. So remember, we're going to add. Okay, so we begin by rewriting our question. We get 20 plus 5% of $20. We can then continue solving. We get 20 plus 5% of $20 is $1. You could work that out in a calculator or work it out by hand. So we're going to get $21. And we can check our number has gotten bigger, so we have increased. So this number is likely correct. Okay, so this time you are solving this question. What happens when we decrease $90 by $22? Okay, so we simply rewrite the question. 90 decrease means we go minus 22% of $90. So this is going to give us 90 minus $19.8, so $19.80. So we're going to end up with a solution of $70.20. And because we've gone down, we can at least see that we've decreased. So up till now, you've been given an original number and a percentage to change it by and had to work out what a new number is. This time we've been given the old number and we've been given the new number, and we have to work out what percentage we've changed by. So to do this, we begin by finding what amount that we've changed by. So we take away the old number from the new number. So we have 25 minus 20, and we're going to get $5. So we've changed or increased by $5 in this situation. Now, we're asked to find what percentage change we have, and this is from our original number. So we need to find what percentage $5 is of $20. We can do this by dividing 5 by 20, which we can then work out as a quarter, and as a percentage, we're going to get 25%. And we need to work out, was it an increase or a decrease? And our money has gone up from here to here, and this number here is positive, so we know it's going to be an increase. So we've had a 25% increase. In this question, it's the same. So we begin by taking our new number from our old. So our new number this time is $15. Our old is $20, so taking away 20 from 15. We're going to end up this time with negative $5. So we've lost $5. So again, we're going to find this as a percentage. So minus $5 is a percentage of the original $20. We get minus 5 over 20, which is minus a quarter, which is a minus 25%. So because we have this minus here, we can say that this was a 25% decrease. So I hope you can see that in both of these examples, we do the exact same process. The only thing that changes is down here if we get a minus, or up here if we get a plus. It tells us whether it's an increase or a decrease. So we've got another question which is pretty much the same as the previous ones. We have an original amount, a new amount, and we're finding the percentage change. So we go new minus old, and we get 50 minus $20, which gives us $30. Then we need to find this as a percentage of our old number. So we go 30 over 20, $30 over $20, which would then simplify down to 3 over 2, which we could then take into a half. Then we could turn this into a percentage, and our percentage this time is 150%. Because we have a whole and a half, we get 100% plus 50%. So this time, we've had a percentage change of 150%. And we have a positive number, so it's going to be 150% increase. Sorry. So here we've increased by more than the original number was. And we can check this, because the original number was 20. So if we've had more than 100% increase, we'd go 20 plus 20, which is 40. And here we have more than 40. So we could say that we're on the right path here at least. So now it's your turn. If we originally had something costing $50 and now it costs $45, what's the percentage change? So, as always, we go new minus old. We get 45 minus 50, which is going to be minus $5. Now we find this as a percentage of the old price. So we go minus 5 over 50 is going to be minus 1 over 10, which is minus 10%. So we could say we've decreased by 10%. This time something originally cost $40 and now it costs $90. Can you calculate the percentage change? So new minus old, 90 minus 40, we're going to end up with 50. So we put 50 over our original number, 50 over 40 is 5 over 4, which is 1 1/4, and as a percentage, we get 125%. This time it's positive, so we can say it's an increase. It's 125% increase. Okay, So now we have a different type of question again. So here we have our percentage change, which is in this case an increase, and we have our new price, $80.50. And we want to find what the original price was. So, sorry my pen is broken, I've had to type this out. So if we have an increase of 15%, so we're just taking this number and putting it there, that's the same as having our original 100%, and we're increasing by 15%, so adding 15%, and we get 115%. So this number here, 80.5, is 115 times the original price. So we can find what 1% would be. 1% of the original item is what we currently have divided by 115. So we currently have 80.5, and we're dividing it by 115, which is this percentage here. So then we get 1% equals $0.7, and we end up with this equation. To get to 100, we multiply 1%, so multiply 1% by 100, so that becomes 100 times 0.7, which in the end ends up being $70. So $70 was increased by 15% to give us $80.50. We have a similar one. This time we have a decrease of $20. So a decrease of $20 means that we take our original number, which was 100%, and we're taking away 20. So we end up with this here, 80%. So 160% is 80% of our original. So to get to our original, or what 1% of our original is, we divide 160 by 80. So this will give us 1% of the original number, which gives us 2. Then to get to 100%, we times 1% by 100, which is 100 times 2, which is $200. So now find the original price of an item if it currently costs $108 and had a decrease of 10%. So the item originally, so we've had a decrease of 10%, which means we take our original item, which was all 100%, we've taken 10% off. So we now have 90%. So this here represents 90% of our original item. So we divide that by 90 to work out what 1% equals. So 1% is 1.2. Then we multiply that by 100 to get our original item. So our original item was just bigger than our new item. So now I'd like you to try the second question on the page. The item now costs $60.50 after it was increased by 21%. What was the original price? And here's our working. We find out what 1% is. This time we've increased by 21%, so we've taken the initial 100% of the item, and we've added 21, which gives us 121. So we're dividing our current price by the percentage that it is. We get 1% is 0.5. So 100% is going to be 100 times 0.5, which gives us 120. There's been quite some difficult concepts in this lesson. If you have any questions, have a go at rewatching and seeing if you can work it out. Otherwise, come and bring them to me in class.